everybody, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
And today we're looking at Uno again. But today it was Uno Ultimate. So the last time we took a look at Uno, we took a look at the horrific Uno All Wilds. Now we're adding Marvel into Uno. And as we all know, Marvel is the best comic book series in the world. Better than all anime combined.
I would say it's probably the best comic book in America.
Better than all anime combined. No, okay, anyway. This is, you each have your own deck. So you're playing Uno, and you're trying to take out your opponents. Let me show you. The game plays very similar to Uno. There's going to be a card in the middle of the table. And when it's your turn, you are going to play a card that's either the same number, so I could play a 3 on top of this 3, or one that's the same color. Now, sometimes when you play a card, it's going to make something happen to the next person. There might be a draw 2 cards, or reverse turn direction, or skip. Sometimes the card that you play, let's say the card there is a yellow and I play this yellow on top of it, you notice there's an exclamation point on it. That stands for the danger deck, these enemy and events that we put together earlier. When you play a card like that, you'll draw the top card, and sometimes it's an event, which just says the next card played cannot be a wild card, or all players burn 2 cards. So what burn means, by the way, is on your deck, you'll just take 2 cards and put them in a burn pile next to your deck. You don't want to lose all the cards in your deck because that would put you out of the game. This one here just says reverse the event. But many of these cards are enemies. When you get an enemy, you're going to place that enemy in front of you. So when it's flipped, when it comes in front of you, you do whatever it says under that part. So this one here says burn 2 cards, while Loki says reverse the turn order of play. And the Supreme Intelligence just says burn 1 card for each enemy in play. So these cards will sit in front of you, and on your turn, they're going to give you some sort of disadvantage. Like this one says, while you're attacking, you can only play number cards. When Loki here, while attacking, you can't play reverse cards. Whiplash says, at the start of your turn, you're going to add a card to your hand. Ugh. So you're going to have these in front of you, and they're going to make your life worse, but you can defeat them by playing a color card it shows at the bottom. So to defeat Whiplash is pretty easy, a yellow, red, or green card. To defeat Hela just requires any numbered card. And when you defeat them, they'll go away. Each player also has wild cards in their deck that when you play them, you can change the color to whatever you want, but it does something different. And the cards are different per deck. So here's a couple from Captain Marvel. Pick someone to add a card, or they get a danger card. Recover 3 cards. You get them from your burned pile. The next person adds 3 cards to their hand. Everyone flips a danger card and does what it says from Iron Man. Everyone else adds a card to their hand. Everyone else burns 3 cards from Iron Man. Thor picks someone to add a card and burn a card. Pick someone to burn a card equal to the number of enemies attacking all the players. Defeat an enemy who's attacking you. Wakanda Forever says Black Panther. Choose a player to add a card and you recover 2 cards. No skip cards can be played by anyone until the start of your next turn. So all these cards can be played, and you can play them in the middle and do their special ability. Now, just like the regular game of Uno, if you're down to 1 card in your hand, you say Uno. If someone else shouts it before you, you draw 2 cards. If you play the last card in your hand, you win. If at the beginning of your turn you cannot play any cards, you draw a card off the top of your deck, add it to your hand. If you can play it, you immediately do so. And so here I drew 6. I can't. Don't forget you have a special ability in front of you. So there's different things that this one, for example, Black Panthers. When you defeat an enemy, you recover 2 cards. So every time he gets rid of an enemy, 2 cards come off. But you will be burning cards from your deck. And if everyone but you has burned all their cards, you win the game. Or if you get rid of all the cards in your hand, then you also win. So the game comes in this box here, and I'm not a real big fan of this box. I mean, it has a spot to put 4 decks, but that's a lot of wasted space in here. The art on the cards is great. It's very easy to see what deck everyone comes through. My only complaint with the art is that Thor's deck in particular, his green cards, I mean, it's here, it's very obvious that it's green and blue, but it's not so obvious when put next to someone else's green. We just found that the colors were not necessarily so easy. And if you're going to separate out these decks at the end, it's not so easy to do so. You go by the little icon in the top corner, and we just found it easier to leave this deck together. But again, that only matters if you're adding in extra decks. The card quality's fine. It's not amazing, but it's Uno quality card. And like I said, the art's good. The rulebook's not too confusing, although there's a few things in it that are a little weird in the sense of that it will say something like add cards, and that's not the typical term. It's usually draw cards into your hand, like draw two, but here it's just called add cards. It also comes with a little pack of cards that are all foils. These are random cards that replace the different cards in your deck. I have no idea how this is a draw at all. You're not going to buy multiple packs of this Uno Ultimate to get these little packs. Maybe they'll sell these separately, but who cares? They're cool looking cards. But in my box here, I got 3 Iron Man and 1 Captain Marvel. Too bad if you wanted Black Panther cards. It's just a weird thing. All right, I think, would you agree that this is a lot different than normal Uno?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, this is not only are you, I mean, it's still kind of Uno, but there are enemies in front of you. You're trying to get rid of enemies. You're constantly burning through your deck. Iron Man in particular can burn through everyone else's deck.
But also basically just like hurting himself the entire time as well.
Yeah, but if he can burn everyone else out of their deck, he'll win. Although I've yet to see a game of this won by burning through the deck. It's gotten close, but usually someone gets rid of all their cards in their hand. Did you like their special abilities, like the cards that they had?
Yeah, I found it very useful. Although if they were Iron Man versus Black Panther, yeah, Black Panther would probably mostly win because he just regenerates so often that Iron Man would basically just burn himself out in the process.
Oh, you're saying like in a one-on-one battle?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I felt like the characters were very diverse. In a 4-player game, yeah, it would be a lot more fun than just 2 players because some characters are very good against each other.
You guys like Uno?
Yes.
Okay, you play it a lot. I hate it. Is this better or worse than Uno, or just different?
It's
Way better.
different.
You say it's better, and you're saying it's different.
I'd rather play this than regular.
It varies. It depends.
It's a little more confusing. Like, we played one game of this with Jimmy, and he knows Uno pretty well, right?
Yes.
And in this, it wasn't as easy. There's a lot more text, a lot more special ability cards and things you have to keep track of. And then you have these weird things like, oh, there's a yellow 3 out there, but I'm not allowed to play 3s. You know, and I have 3 of them in my hand. So, you know, stuff like that. What does it say in the box here? 7 plus? Maybe. Do you think it's more complicated than Uno?
Yes.
Well, to be fair, Jimmy's pretty dumb in general, so it could be 7 plus.
Violet, seriously. Anyway, so the different characters, you can play them, you go through the different characters. So you're saying you would rather play this than normal Uno?
Yes.
What about you?
It depends what mood I'm in. If I'm in for, like, especially with the party I'm with, if they can't really understand complicated stuff, probably normal Uno.
Fair enough.
Not to mention, normal Uno has more characters. Well, not characters. You can have more players.
Now, I don't know if I want to get more characters for this. I probably am not going to go out when they come out with single character packs for this. But that, you know, again, it's still Uno. It's not really... You're still playing Uno. There's still reverses and skips and plus 2s and things like that. So what is your final thoughts and rating?
Overall, for me, it wasn't too complicated. Apparently for everybody else it was.
Oh, bragging. But yes.
I liked this more than regular Uno. Violet, I don't know, she's in the middle for some reason.
But what's your rating?
I like the characters' abilities and how they added enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Probably a 7.
A 7? Okay.
I like the game. I liked how each character has its own different types of things. They're not all the same deck, basically. Oh, I did find Thor's colors a bit annoying because it was really hard to tell.
Specifically green.
Yeah.
Yep.
Altogether, I would also give this a 7. I like the game.
Well, there you go. I'd give it a 6. It's better than Uno.
Yes.
It's a lot better than Uno. It's interesting. There's things going on, but it's still just luck. It still has silly rules like if you don't say Uno fast enough and someone else does, you draw 2. I hate that rule. It still has, you can just sit there while someone plays a plus 2, the next person skips you, the next person reverses it before it gets to you. super fun. But I do like the Marvel theming. I like the special abilities. The decks do feel different. Oh, also the foil thing is just ridiculous. I don't even know why that even exists. I hate everything about that. Because it's collectible, but you're not going to buy multiple boxes. Anyhow. Well, there you go. That's Uno Ultimate. Is this the ultimate version of Uno?
Yes.
Is this the beginning of a series? Will they have Star Wars and other things? Who knows?
They might
Maybe.
start to do that.
I wouldn't be
There's probably a
surprised.
Star Wars themed Uno somewhere.
Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Violet.
And I'm Ruby.
Have fun playing Uno. Ultimately.